Hey, what's up guys? Photographer David Johnston here, and I'm shooting aerial footage out here in Franklin, Tennessee today, out at a place called Harlansdale Farm, and I'm using the DJI Mavic Pro. But I got to thinking, when you're out shooting and you're getting those amazing aerial shots and aerial footage, how do you get the most out of your drone? Well, today we're going to be talking about the best drone settings to have. Now, drone capabilities are still progressing. Right now, basically the only two settings that you're going to have to be looking at are exposure speed and your ISO. So we're going to get right into the drone, actually looking on the screen at exactly what I'm seeing and seeing exactly what you need to do to get the most out of your drone for the best settings to use to create those amazing images. Okay, so once you're up in the air, a few things you want to look for if you want to get out of that auto mode and right into manual mode. What you're going to click is the manual modes. Here you can toggle between auto and manual. Now, I talked about a little bit before, you can choose between your ISO and your shutter. Your ISO is going to let more light in the higher it gets. The lower you get, the less light it's going to bring in. I try to keep mine on 100 as much as possible because that's going to reduce the amount of image noise that's being produced. Obviously, your shutter speed is important for drone photography as well because you want to have a steady shot that has no shake in it at all. What you want to remain on is above 1/100th of a second. That's going to ensure that your drone is stable and that your shot is going to be stable as well. Sometimes you're going to have to be much higher than that depending on what light you're shooting in. Just remember to try to keep it above 1/100th of a second. Also, try to keep your drone in RAW mode. Now, RAW is going to be in your image format options. You have RAW, JPEG, JPEG, and RAW. Try to stay in RAW because anytime you're in RAW, you can adjust the photo as much as possible. With your image size, you have 4:3 and 16:9 as your options. Remain in 4:3, that's gonna give you the most resolution in a drone photo. The 16:9 is not gonna allow you to crop anything down and really zoom in on what you wanna do. So try to keep this on 4:3, and you can always crop down the 4:3 if you want to obtain a 16:9 aspect ratio. Also, always adjust your white balance to whatever the weather is going on around you. Today we're dealing with partly cloudy to mostly cloudy skies, so I'm going to set my white balance to cloudy based on the conditions that are given to me. If you're shooting in other conditions, be sure to switch your drone to that white balance instead. Some other things you can do to ensure that you're getting the right settings for your drone photography is to set up a grid line in your system, and that can be done in the settings category. You can also add or remove a histogram option that you can even move around on your screen as well. It helps you to get the best light possible in your drone photos. Knowing and following these drone settings is going to help you get the most out of your aerial images and create those stunning drone photos that you see all the time. Before you go and fly into a situation, be sure to research any rules and guidelines surrounding drones so that you don't break any rules and that you can safely fly your drone as well.